What's going on, people? This is No Good Do Gooder. I just came on here to address, not even to really address certain things, but to just make sure some clarity is out there for some crazy ass people that have been in and out of my life. Okay, now what I'm supposed to be doing right now was taking me a nap, cleaning up. Okay, putting on some food, folding some clothes, shit like that. All that good stuff. Because Thanksgiving is tomorrow. But, I hear of everyone's plans for me. And they're wondering why a lot of them haven't came into fruition. Or they just don't understand why they're not happening. And how they think they can predict everything about me or my life or what the fuck is going on. And number one, I'm the original. I'm not the copy. The copycat is the one with the insecurities, the self-esteem problems, the bipolar mind state, the run around, pick me, I'm gonna get you sucker attitude, and oh, this man better need me, want me, and got to have me, blah 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 blah. Like, calling, running around, and all this shit. Like, yo, all the negative shit ain't me. I don't operate like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to put out no smear campaign on somebody. I don't have to lie on their name. I don't have to lie on their box. I don't have to lie on what they've done, their accolades or anything. I don't have to lie on them, period. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not an insecure ass bitch, hoe, fuck girl. I'm none of that. Like, I'm just so straight up. People hate it. That's really it. I'm so blunt. People can't stand it. I'm so right. People hate me. I'm so honest. They'd rather get me out the room. So straightforward and to the point. I think out loud and I think inside. That intro and that extrovert in me, that people hate it. I'm so on point with all the shit that I say. Motherfuckers wish they could get me off this goddamn planet. Okay? But I wrote down some shit that I wanted to address because these bitches is from middle school. And it's like, I never have even lied about my age. Okay? So I'm going to say, I'm 46 years old. 40 fucking 6. Alright? Middle school. How old do you need to be in middle school? 13, 14, 15, something like that. I'm 46. Whomever, and I'm not saying whomever like I don't know. I'm saying whomever, like all of you that I do know. First of all, Petersburg, Virginia. That's where that's from. Second of all, if you holding on to shit from fucking middle school, what the fuck is wrong with you? You really need to be checked the fuck out, evaluated on a whole nother level, okay? And to set the record straight, middle school ends at 8th grade. All right? You go into 9th grade. Mid-time my 9th grade year, my parents divorced. My mother moves. I move with my mother. All right? So I'm no longer in Petersburg, Virginia at that time. I moved to Martinsville, Virginia, where my mother's family is from. Petersburg, Virginia was around where my father's family is from. Because I really want people to get the picture here. Okay? And understand that what I'm spewing out isn't nonsense, isn't irrelevant, and it isn't a whole bunch of fabricated bullshit. I am coming up against or to defend myself against women that have a grudge against me since middle school. Family, friends, associates. Really want no boyfriends then. Middle school. I want that shit to sink the fuck in. Okay? During that time in my life, damn. My mom and my daddy was together. My household was loving. We did a whole lot of shit. I had a whole lot of fucking friends. Block parties basically at my house all the goddamn time. I'm talking them big ass speakers blaring from all the fucking windows. Cookouts all the damn time to where my parents don't even ask motherfuckers for money or nothing to contribute to the cookout or nothing. And the whole block can come. The whole fucking school has literally pulled up in their buses from the school and dropped shitload of kids off at my goddamn house. Everybody know my mom and my daddy. There have been some kids that did want to fight me or didn't like me. And that shit happened here and there throughout that time frame. Whomever though, from middle school, I am sure, not only do you know me, but you know my mom and you know my dad. You know my family. You stayed the night at my house. You have been welcomed with love every fucking time. Never was starving. Never had to want for shit anytime you come to my crib. Like, my parents would take me out, my brother out, and any of our friends. We played with everybody, and everybody played with us. But when people would hold grudges or shit like that, I ain't even know motherfuckers were holding grudges. Sometimes I just say what the fuck I want to say, and then that's it. You know, if you wanted to fight me about it, we fought about it. At first, I didn't like fighting my friends because I really thought friendship meant something. But I can tell that even then, it didn't mean something to people then. Definitely don't mean something to you now. But I don't know if any of you were the cause of my parents breaking up, but possibly. Okay? But the fact that I left middle school. In high school, that short amount of time, with you same fuckers, I left the city. Went 2.5 hours away. My life completely different. 2.5 hours away. In high school. Shit followed me there. Bitches being jealous and all that kind of shit. Wanted to argue, wanted to fuss, and then it was over a man. I don't even know these bitches. Motherfuckers is all in my business about, oh, I was super light skinned then. Hair down my back then. Still 98 fucking pounds. So I know it's gotta be a family member that kept this trail going. Because I had new friends. Okay, so again, middle school. I don't even give a fuck about even getting dressed or looking good for a goddamn camera or to please any of y'all motherfuckers, because it's like the shit that goes through your mind, it's not even worth getting dressed for. It's like, what the fuck do I have to prove to y'all people? You know, all I'm trying to do is clear up my name and make sure everybody is following the proper paper trail, the proper family trail, the proper friend trail or ex-friend trail, to nip all this shit in the bud, because everybody want to come up off my name. Everybody want to be seen, not seen, hidden, definitely. And I'm sure a lot of your parents don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Because a lot of the kids that was cool with me, or that fought me, or I fought them, or whatever the fuck, all our parents knew each other. And all our parents won't own no shit like this. And if they were, I believe that they still would be, because they're just like you. And that narrows it down some, you know. Because if your mind is still stuck on someone, then their mind is still stuck on someone. And it narrows it down on who's got the mental, like, cases and blockages and fears and situations and fuck ups and shit. Because I have never not been a confident person unless there were other people around purposely fucking with me. Because I don't go out fucking with people. I don't invite you over to fuck with you. You know, I don't even want you as my friend if it's going to be a whole lot of turbulence. It's kind of like, what's the point of a friendship? Because to me, in my mind, friendship consists of not just partying and bullshit, but creatively growing and being like the two best girlfriends to each other, the two best friend girls, guy friend to guy girl. It don't matter. It's like you do shit to elevate each other. You don't do shit to just keep cutting the motherfucker down or using the motherfucker's name or throwing a bitch under the bus because you want what that person have. A lot of you bitches did that. Okay. It didn't even matter if it's high school. It's the fucking point that I know all this is done over money. I refuse to think it's over a man. I refuse. You know, I refuse because it just, that part of it just doesn't make sense because you already have the man. When you go through my life, you go through my timelines, or you've been out with me, or when we used to hang out or anything like that, it's like you had already got the person. You know, if you travel to other places that I lived at, you know, after high school, it's still like, yo, you're in all of the places that I am not. So make it make sense why I would be the one to be doing all of the fucked up shit out here, because I need access to shit to do fucked up shit out here to anybody. I need access to steal. I need access to kill. I need access to deceive. I need access to change paperwork. I need access to people. I need access to money. I need access to a car. I need access to shit. So when you take all that shit from me, but I'm supposed to be in these places doing this shit to people and myself, how am I stealing from myself? It's obvious why ain't shit being done to me. Everybody knows it's not me doing it. Everyone knows that. There's nobody that's literally thinking like, yeah, she's doing it. No, yeah, she's doing all this shit. They know I'm not. Facial recognition knows I'm not. My voice knows I'm not. Okay? I have never stepped foot in the places, in the banks where my money is, on the land. I am not in prominent people's faces running my mouth about me. Makes no sense. But anywho. Alright? Now you say things like this. Oh boy, using my voice and speaking up. You know. You didn't think I was going to do that. And I'm like, what? I've used my voice all the time. I was vocal as a child. What? I don't get that. The only time that I really didn't use my voice with anyone is where, like, do you know, like, when you can tell a person is antagonizing the situation for you to react to them? And I have said this before, meaning it's a cockamamie story of some kind, designed to get you upset about something. And you, whether you are wanting to know all the details or to find the relevance in it all, it's one of those things where you would think, if you're an intelligent person, you would just think, like, why? Even after you argue with the person, it's kind of like, why are you doing this? You know? And so I would find myself looking at the person in front of me, lying, not telling any part of the truth, but throwing me under the bus. Okay? And they're putting on a show so well because everybody else that's there is an audience. And I noticed that they want an audience. And my silence wasn't that I didn't know how to speak, that I didn't know what to say, or that I didn't know what to do. My silence was, I'm not going to keep fighting you over this stupid ass shit. I'm not even going to waste my voice on discussing any of this shit with you anymore. You know, I'm not going to give you the entertainment that you're looking for. You know what I'd rather do? I'd rather turn around, leave all of you, get in my car, and go hours away. I understood, even as a teenager, I can create a different atmosphere anywhere. And that I don't have to stay in a toxic, chaotic, violent, or unstable atmosphere that's created by an unstable person. And it can be changed within a second. Okay? That's what people don't understand. You can look at them, and you can turn around and walk away. That's changing the atmosphere. Because you're not giving them what they want. Or you don't have to look at them. You know? Or you can actually say out your mouth, I'm done with this. I'm done with you. You know? And sometimes an okay is the same thing. It's like, all right, okay, you know, and you can do the other part. I would get in my car and I would leave. I would never give an explanation on where I'm going or why I'm leaving. I would just leave. Even if I was upset, even if I had tears in my eyes, even if I wanted to beat the dog shit out of you. I had my reasons for not doing that. Because all I kept seeing was bars. Jail bars. For me. After I put my hands on you. I love myself. I love freedom. I leave. You know? I leave. I chalk up the deuces. I'm out. You know? Like, it didn't matter what you were fussing about. Money. If you already took it, you got it. Bye. It was about a man. You already took him. You got him. Bye. I'm gone. I'm not wasting no time arguing with you about a man. It's a lot of men out here in this world. I'm not wasting my time arguing with you about some money. Because guess what? I know how to go out and make my own money. And then plus, I asked my mama or my daddy for money. I don't ask other people. And I've always had my reasons for that. I ain't like nobody trying to come back in my face, try to throw shit in my face about nothing. Everything that people have thrown in my face has been created by them. Lies that they've sold to other people, rumors that they've told to other people, and then lies that they done schemed up and got grouped up with folk, and they didn't keep the shit on the motherfucking rotation like that. All right? Now, let's see. And whomever this person or these people are, at the time they thought they were winning. When they thought like, okay, I'm in my house, I ain't outside, I ain't going out, I'm not arguing back with them, I'm not putting their names on social media, I'm not I don't know, I'm not in no distraught ways about myself or nothing. It's kind of like, I'm not none of that. You were never winning. All I did was do a bait and then the switch. That's it. You fall for the bait. And then everything that you want to say to people, ooh, look at her, look at her, look at her. Talking about me. And guess what everybody does? They do look at me. And they say, damn, we see the opposite. You're throwing a fit and she's not throwing one at all. That's all I did. You know, it's like you can put all kinds of spell work out there on somebody. Defense magic is the best magic. That means I'm defending myself against what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're putting out there. And I don't mean any harm towards anyone. But when you really know how to verbalize things, you always will pick and choose your words wisely. Then on top of it, when I decide that I want to cuss you out, I still pick and choose those words wisely as well too. Okay? But also at the same time, I don't care how old you are. That's the difference between me and anyone else. I don't care about the level of respect that you feel that you should have because of a title, a status, or if you're damn near 100 years old. It's like this. Respect is always given. It's not granted. Your title, your status, your your, I don't know, any form of your notoriety doesn't just automatically give you respect. Because when people see how nasty your attitude is, how you run your mouth, how you talk about other people, I'm sure they're thinking in the back of their mind, this bitch is probably talking about me the same fucking way. And I gotta take her with a grain of fucking salt. You know what I'm saying? Because what she putting out, and I don't see the other person doing the same thing, I need to take a step back and just be like, what is she on? What is he on? Why they going so hard? Meaning to throw me under the bus. Okay? Now I already know why. I know why. Because they've stolen money, stolen mail, stolen identity. They've racked up a shitload of karma. They got a few diseases. And they want to just give all that shit to me. Because at some point, hey, we were linked. At some point, you were in my energy. At some point, we had some kind of emotional connection, tie of some kind. And I understand also too that time is repeating itself. When you really say that you are reading your Bible, you would notice if you read your Bible through, time is repeating itself. And then when I tell you that God has said several times that there's no such thing as coincidence, you would look at things like, wait a minute, this isn't deja vu. This is just done before. The people that I'm dealing with, they have literature on me. They have shitloads of information on me. They didn't did lab tests on me, had me in labs. They didn't did, exploratory surgeries on the motherfucker. They didn't have people surveillancing me. They didn't had people come to my home, ask me questions. They didn't went through my trash. They didn't comb through every part of my life. They didn't because they wanted to steal my life. They knew who I was. Like they knew my lineage. They knew I was connected to Egypt. They knew I was connected to the gods. They knew that I was a Indian too. Okay? Like they knew I had history within my bones. Like they knew what they were doing. And their thought process was, hey, this has been going on for 1,000 years. We got to keep this going. And I said to myself, when I figured out I'm a part of prophecy, and this wasn't told to me that I was a part of prophecy. And in the prophecy, I have been hidden under so much fucking shame. All right. Due to powers that are in place and how they manipulated spirituality and religion. Okay. And when I got to the part about the 1,000 years, I said, maybe that's 1,000 years they had manipulated time. And what people are not understanding is when I was going on my quest to find myself and to get answers about me, because I heard I had a lookalike out there, and I heard rumors swirling around about me. All right. But when God kept talking to me, there's something there. And so I went back, quote unquote, in time, in history, And I saw the loop. I saw the conditioning. And then I saw what was going to be broken. And I knew it had a lot to do with me. So when they talk about time was sped up, to me, it was sped up to miss me. To still bury me, you know. The physical me, the mythical me, and the celestial me. You know, because the design was for the narrative that had been created to the world was to not allow the feminine aspect to override or rule in any of the powerful sectors. Like, they really wanted to bury the fact that women are powerful, are creative, and are sent by God, and are messengers of God, and we hold the history. But what really got me was they crippled Atlantis to hide and do away with a lot of things that were mine. Because the way that God put it to me was, my reasons for being hidden was because of all the power I hold inside of me. In the wrong hands, it could turn me into something ugly. That's why I understood my counterpart that is identical to me, you know? So when I understood what they were doing, I said, I'm going to stop participating. That doesn't mean I have to tell you that I'm going to stop participating. But the way I stop participating, I turn around and I walk away. And then I clear my energy. I just need to learn how to remove people. And I needed to learn how to get good at it. Because everyone wanted to do was sacrifice me in order to steal money and to steal my gifts. So I didn't have a choice in the matter. But what everyone thought my choice was going to be was to stay attached to them. Because they felt like they've cornered me and I don't have another choice or another avenue, and that I must stay with them, or that there's no way you can cut ties with family, or that she's not emotionally intelligent enough to understand the capacity of what is going on and what I'm doing or what we're doing, and who's going to tell her, because we're not. Everybody forgets I kept saying I've been talking to God, and God's been talking to me. The difference is, I was never lying about that. God has been talking to me since I was a baby. Baby. And sometimes you have to walk through places like you're blind, like you're naive, like you don't see what's going on in front of you, like you don't hear what people say out their mouths, but you do. And the only reason why I adopted that was because I saw people wanting to silence my voice because it was so right. It was so on point. And they knew how powerful my voice was. I saw it. I saw how people would want to come in, discredit me, and talk over me, just get louder, and then rather turn into an argument before the truth could ever come out. I saw how it was gonna always turn into some war. Like either it's gonna be a match for words or it's gonna be a fight. And I said to myself, how long am I gonna have to fight grown ass men? How long am I gonna have to fight negative ass women? Like, why is this a thing? You know, why are they so caught off guard by my intelligence? Even though they would ask me things like when they would assume I led with my titties and my ass. And I would say something along the lines of, no, I prefer to lead with my brain. Everything else has an expiration date unless you do the proper things to preserve it. But I also saw when I expressed my intelligence how fearful people would be, how they would look, how they were shocked as well too. I learned how to be quiet because I was always very vocal all the time. I learned patience. I learned discernment. I learned how to walk away. I learned how to say no. I learned how to say yes. Like, I learned how to embody the word that I wanted because I wanted to learn how to disassociate myself and remove myself within a second of whatever you are and whoever you are. And I learned it. I perfected it years ago. I perfected a lot of things, like really about 12, 15 years ago. And then when all of you people start revving up shit and fucking up my life and then putting me in the hospital more, you were wanting to just make me feel like I had all kinds of ghosts chasing me and that I was so karmic and I was like all this fucked up shit. You know what I did? I let you think whatever you wanted to because I knew what I was. I knew who I am. And I knew I wasn't what you were trying to project out there into the world about me. It's easy. Meaning, if I was what you projected out there, I would carry on that way. And I never carried on that way even when I went out. I was always telling different females like, yo, this shit is fucked up. Don't do this. Stop doing that. Why are you doing this to yourself? Men will tell you, Kiki ain't never run after me. Kiki ain't never chase after me. Kiki ain't never, no. Men will tell you too. She been cool with us. We friends. Or even if we did used to talk, we cool. You know? It was just bitches that wanted my spot. Wanted my place. Wanting something that wasn't theirs in the first place. Jealousy or whatever else. And I knew whatever your insecurities are, didn't matter if it was jealousy, envy, hatred, you know, anger, animosity, it didn't matter. That's still a part of your free will. That's still a part of your choices. And I cannot change that within you. That is something you have to do for yourself. And no matter how much everybody want to tie their fuck shit to me because of those things, no, you can't. You have to look at yourself. You really do. You know? And then the last time I checked too, whores don't have discipline, or patience. So it's kind of like myth debunked. It's like if people actually take the time to think when people are talking to them in their faces, they would be like, how the fuck did I fall for this shit? And how the fuck did I fall for so long? Then the light bulb's gonna go off. They've been manipulated for years. Years. This is one of those things where I said, no matter what I do, I could fight with my mouth, or I could fight with my fist. I could fight with my brain. I could fight with my heart. There's always going to be another person to come up because they got the skit, they got the blueprint, they got the fucked up one though, because that's what their goal was, to make me that, because they had already stolen money. And but people don't truly realize, let's say you're a sane person, but when you want to make someone else insane, when you're using spell work, you have to embody that insanity. At whatever point that you wanted to get at for that person, you have to embody that in order to be able to deliver that type of nonsense for it to transfer over to another human being. You have to understand that that human being is broken or not. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter if my hair is done or not for you to know if I'm broken, or if my nails are done or not for you to know if I'm broken, or if I'm fat or skinny for you to know if I'm broken, if I'm clean or dirty for you to know if I'm broken. You know, it doesn't matter what my house looks like, my room. It doesn't matter. That doesn't determine if I'm broken or not. Because brokenness is something from the inside. You can't even tell if I'm broken or not by the music I listen to, or by if I got tears in my eyes or not. Because all those things are emotions. All of those things are things that can be changed and switched around. It could be here today and gone tomorrow. You know? The determination of if I am a broken person is if I am stuck in the past. And I am not. And I never was. You know? I think the only thing that I was stuck in was why people were acting the way that they were acting towards me when I didn't do what they were saying I did to them. That was so confusing. Or even when I was just brought automatic opposition out of nowhere. And I'm like, all right, I'm being pranked in some kind of way. Who's doing this? Where's this coming from? Why? And then it was like, after something weird just popping out of nowhere that happens, and people will be like, oh yeah, that's why I don't like you and I want to fight you. And then I'm like, how did we jump to that? But I see. Okay. I get the fact that a lot of things were manufactured. What I had to wrap my head around, and people could say that I was stuck in some form of a past, was the fact that these people got close to me to do this. This was family, this was friends, this was co-workers. These were people that were paid to do this, that I thought were genuine connections, and they never were. And so I was confused because I was giving genuine connection, and they were giving me fake. And then what they would say was, she can't see through it. We got her. And then every sneak attack was behind my back. None of it was in my face. And I'm talking about people might be saying something to me like, oh, that they love me and they're going to miss me, but they're moving, to somewhere. Or, they're going over their mom's house, or this relationship is just not working at this time. Or they're going to pick up their kids. No one would ever tell me like what they were doing. And so I made sure to pay attention to behavior, patterns, movement. So it's like, all right. And I get it. You folks, you wanted to sacrifice me. You wanted to play with my feelings. Let's see, what else you wanted to do? Strip me of my confidence. You wanted to break me down. You wanted to remove love from my life. You wanted to run me down so I couldn't get up. Because you wanted me to give up on myself and give up on anything that was mine. The ultimate goal was to take my wheel of fortune away from me. And what you didn't tell people was that you stole money from me by like using magic, using rituals, using these covens, cults, and churches and societies. You used my oil change place, where I bought my cars from. You used my phone bill place, my electric bill, my water bill people. You used my homeowners association people. Okay, you used my bank for my home, my bank for my bank accounts, people against me, because everyone was interconnected and interwoven within, and they were all told the plan. I was the only one not told the plan. And so everyone is pissed that I found it out. And I figured it out. And I put the pieces together. Everyone was pissed that I know who my soulmate is. Everyone is pissed that I'm still standing. Everyone is pissed that I'm not sick. I'm not dead. I am not hurt in any way. Everyone is pissed that my conscience is so clear. My aura is so clear that they just can't believe it. You can make me angry. A few seconds to a couple minutes later, I'm not even angry anymore. And it's not even a switch up of having a personality disorder or being bipolar. None of that. It's just like, I see what you're doing. Like, I see your hands, I see your mouth, and I see how you just focus all your attention on me and you stare, and I feel your aura. I feel your deceit. I feel your projections, and I catch you. Doesn't matter to you guys. You still want to do it anyway. And it doesn't matter how many times that I prove to you that it's not working. Everyone is focused on getting some money from me. Like I got a stash of money somewhere. When I've never went back to not one bank that you stolen anything from me. I've not went to not one police. I've not went to one lawyer. I have not went to anything probate. I have not went to anything to place charges on anyone. And it's not that I don't want to, and it's not that I can't. It's one of those things where, don't worry, it's coming, and I am. I was divinely guided to give all of you time to do the right thing, or just to stop doing the things that you were doing. I was divinely guided to have patience and to wait. I was divinely guided for you to hopefully see the error of your ways and to stop doing them against one person. Mind you, everyone knew who the one person was. Me. And then the people that were watching, they knew how many of you guys it was and is against me. They knew that how many people you were adding against me. Like, a lot of people already saw what you were doing, know what you were doing, because you were bragging about it. You went on social media to do the same. And it's like, I didn't run behind it. You know, I wasn't checking to see like where your pages are and where you're posting at and what you're saying. Because I didn't want anything to mess with my frequency. Because that's what God told me to stay in. The frequency of love. And just to use my brain, instincts, intuition to just solve this. And that's what I did. You know? And I made sure to just base it all on energy, so I won't base it on like just specific people. So they won't be looking at like, yo, she on that get back. And I know she's just talking about me. You know? I'm talking about everyone involved. But I'd rather convict you on your energy because your energy doesn't lie. Neither does your intuition or your instincts. I've proven that. And then the people's names that I did put in my stuff, I know that either you were directly involved or indirectly involved. And everyone swore an oath to bind me in all kinds of ways that were so gross that my energy refused. Just refused to be like that, to get down like that, to even want to see you, any of you, even want to visit you or keep being friends with you. It was like the energy. No. And that's what people aren't understanding about fate and destiny. It's already energy driven. And then it's driven by your choices and your decision making, your instincts and your intuition as well too, with your thought process about how you conduct yourself out here in life and the way you're living. And so when you know you're putting false narratives out here, but then you're trying to live a good narrative life, it starts to look like a walking contradiction, because that's how you get those words, a walking contradiction. And walking contradictions is with the other folk. It's like with the deceiving people, the misleading people, the deception folk, you know what I'm saying, which is the devil people. So it's kind of like, okay, people are gonna see it, you know. My job was to fulfill the prophecy, and believe it or not, my frequency does that. I didn't have to narrow it down to you, and you, or all of yous, because all of y'all's energy is linked to each other. So it's like cord after cord after cord after cord. They're all attached, you know. And the divine, they know the difference. The celestial realm, they know the difference. Even the demonic realms, they know the difference. So all I have to do is cut the energy cords, you know, and the people that come back, that's how I know they my biggest devils, because they know how to put them cords back. And then putting the cords back isn't as easy as you think, because you have to get closer in order to do it. Because as it's cut, it's cutting off the length of it. And there's a point where it does sever. There's a point where it does become invisible. There's a point where it turns into something being non-existent, and it just doesn't, it's not here anymore. And the folks know that, and so they come in closer, you know. And either they're going to drum up happiness around me, or they're going to drum up some fucking chaos around me. It just depends on what they want and what they need in order to do that and get that done. I have not said, not one time, that I don't see what the fuck is going on. I just refuse to comply with your narrative. That's all it is. You want me sad? I'm going to stay happy. You want me evil? I'm going to stay in joy. You want me mad? I'm going to turn on some music. You want me to be wallowing in my feelings? I think consciously, damn, if he really hurt my feelings, he didn't need my feelings in the first place. He didn't even need to be close to them. So let me remove the closeness from my feelings. And I have to do that by doing what? I'm going to cut the cord. You know? And then the other thing is, if I cut the cord, why would I continuously think about you? Why would I keep you on my mind if I'm cutting? Okay? Why would I want to relive toxic memories, chaotic memories, violent memories? Why? And then a lot of you, I don't have any memories of you at all. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I know what you're doing. You did it on purpose. Because if I can't see you, you don't know it's me, then I'm doing it. Right. Everyone still ends up showing their face. It might be through the face of another, but you still show your face, because the demon can't help itself. It has patterns. It has signatures, really, that you'll know, okay, this is happening again, you know. So I get it. Meaning, I get what you're doing. I don't get why you're still stuck. And the only thing I can come up with is, man, you're traumatized by this. More than me. And you're traumatized because you put yourself through all of this fucked up shit, because you decided to look into my life as a kid now, and you saw all the things that were going to be happening for me in my life, and you said, I want that. She doesn't need it. She doesn't deserve to have it, and I'm going to do everything in my power to take that. And you did. Do you know you're showing up as your destiny? You're showing up as your fate. You're showing up as who you really are. And all I needed to do was remove my energy from everyone so people could see who all of you really are. I utilized religion, spirituality, and word sound power to achieve Christ consciousness. I educated myself. I went back in history. I learned parts of me. I understood the nudges that I got that were pertaining to me. And I already had God talking to me. Even though God didn't talk to me all the time, it's because y'all people were taking and stealing all my gifts. So, all you did was just turn me into the dragon. So instead of me having 6 senses, 15 senses. Or instead of me being able to use my third eye, I moved my third eye to my heart. You know? Or instead of my senses being active in certain areas or parts of my body, I just turned it to my whole body's going to be active. Eyes all over it all the time. Understanding all the time. You know, going deep, in depth all the time. Because what you were trying to do was bury me under nonsense. Bury me under the false identity, the backwards version of meaning a beautiful woman that has no brain, like none, like ditzy, like she's nothing in there. And you know it's a lie. All I've been doing is just dismissing all the lies. Everyone wants me to do something to help them and to get them out of what they've done. Truth of the matter is, no one was going to help me. Everything designed, whether I helped you or not, was still to bury me. And to give everyone else whatever freedom that they wanted from all their consequences, all their accountability, all their responsibility, and all of their nonsense that they did that was criminal, and that the statute of limitations isn't up. So you would get charged for it regardless. Because I've been vocal about being attacked by all of you people. It doesn't matter if you're family or not. You decided to go on a hate train. You decided to be like a lynch mob. A variation of colors, though, from all around the world. You know? So it's like your hate is on 1,000, 10,000. But instead of being a hater of one's race or ethnicity, you know, color, or body type, all were haters of God. Or all were haters of female divinity. All were haters of spiritual growth, religious growth. All were haters of bringing back words down power. All were haters of the golden people. All were haters of Kemetic Egyptian education. All were haters that history has the opportunity to change. Because you're haters of growth. You're haters of maturity. You're haters of stability. You're haters of not being able to dominate someone or something. And I can't help you with that. I prefer not to help you with that. Let me go a little further. I am not designed to help you with that. I'm designed to move forward regardless of your findings, your feelings, your emotions, your setbacks, your struggles, and your shortcomings. You know? So even when I was in my house and I didn't come out that much, or when I was sick and I was, you know, nursing myself back to health and everything, and people was like, we got her, we got her, we got her. You didn't pay attention to how I healed from everything. And I'm not talking about heal where I still got whatever anything is. And I still need medicine for something or any of that. No, I have nothing. And then when y'all did give me, whether it was HIV or AIDS, it was short-lived. Literally. Like, I can tell from different blood transfusions what you're giving me, what you're doing, what you're inserting into that blood that you're giving me in the hospital when I needed to get it. I can tell by the body part, it affects what you're doing. And I can tell that medical staff was a part of it, because the last time they thought they were putting fear in me. And I didn't chuckle, but I wanted to. And they were like, we gotta run all these tests. And I'm like, okay, good, go ahead. And then they were like, well, we gotta run these specific tests. And I'm like, oh, great, go ahead. You know? And then a doctor came in, and then he said, we gotta run these, we gotta narrow some things down because, and it's gonna involve us having to go deeper. And, you know, these are some, everything that he was naming off that third time were things you could die from. And I said, okay, cool, go ahead, run the test. Do you know that white man, when he came back and he looked at those results with me? I think a few of my family members were there. I saw his face turn red. Red in shock and awe. Red in fuck. Red in oh shit. Red in this bitch has nothing. What the fuck are we gonna do? Okay? And then, you know what they did? A nurse came, insisted that I need to clean myself up. I knew they wanted my pad. I take a bath, but I put my pad in a bag within a bag within a bag. They look for it. And they take it. And the person that took it, they won't even supposed to be working that day. Then on top of it too, I was supposed to get medicine for progesterone with a P, like in Paul. Okay? And they wanted to give me different medicine for the 3 letters, as if I had it. And I saw the doctor write orders for progesterone with a P as in Paul. And then I saw those orders being changed by the nurse before I leave out the hospital, which, by the way, they wanted to hurry up and get me the fuck out of there. I wonder why. Maybe because of all the shit she was doing that she was not supposed to do. In which they did a lot of that and I caught it. So when I say I've always been vocal about everything, it didn't matter what step I took, I've always talked. Sometimes never shut up. I have no problem with speaking. I have no problem with taking up for myself. These people created a narrative after I left that city. These people have been running with that narrative for years. And the reason why that narrative has been working, because I don't live there. I haven't lived there since a teenager. And I'm close by the area now. Technically, I've moved back, but I don't live there. So even those people won't see me. And so they think that the narrative that they spun, even with me being like in middle school, is still supposed to go and fly. But what the world didn't know is that I wasn't around. I had moved. I went to different high schools. I had new people in my life. I was in a new city, new state, new town, new friends. And even when they talked to people that I dealt with, you know, in my new areas, they brought up old stuff. And then they fabricated a lot of stuff. Like, they put their life on me to make people upset, mad, want to turn against me, and leave me alone. And I saw it. And I get it. I didn't like it. But my thought was this. Why the fuck do I have to keep fucking arguing with you? Why the fuck do I have to keep fighting with you? Why the fuck you just don't grow the fuck up? Why the fuck you just don't leave me the fuck alone? And why the fuck do you think it's okay to do the shit that you're doing? And why does it have to get to points like this for you to understand that your mouth can get you locked the fuck up? All the shit you start gets you locked the fuck up. And just like, if I were to put my hands on you, I know I would get locked up. But think about you getting put behind bars because people know that this aggressive tracking of me within the last 10 years, and it had narrowed itself down past 5 years, then narrowed itself down in the past 2 years. I did not attack a soul. And all you folks did was just keep attacking me. It is record upon record upon record upon record. You know what's fucked up? You can go to prison behind that. You can go to jail behind that. You can go to a psych ward behind that. You can lose your life behind that because the energy that you put out to constantly bombard, attack, lie on one person, it has a cause and effect. And so if I have absorbed, taken on, transmuted, lived through, cured my energy of all those things over 46 years, or at least over 45 years, you get all of that back, you know. I said this before. You sent all the attacks my way: physical, mental, spiritual, financial, emotional, ritual. And I get credit for that. So when you look at me spiritually and it shows you I'm rich as fuck, I've gotten credit for all that shit all my life. So my ether bucks will never die, okay? They'll never leave. They'll never go anywhere. You know, it'll just keep growing. Because I'm not running from my problems. I'm not running from my behavior. I'm not running from my mistakes. I'm not running from change. I'm not running from other people that are talking shit, that want to instigate shit, and that want some form of clout, recognition, or that need a goddamn hug, or just want some damn attention. I'm not running even from you. It's like I just don't want to be associated with any of you. What you're doing is beyond childish. It's gonna be beyond a lot of people's comprehension and understanding. Because it's gonna surpass their levels of what they think people actually do out here, and how you spend your time, and what your day is like. Because it's based upon what your mind is like. And it's going to show how I've gotten up from everything, how I went through college, how I went through work, how I stayed positive, how I created things, how I enjoyed myself in my space, and even how when I go out and I'm around people that I'm pleasant. And I'm a good vibe to be around. You know, I'm not some stick in the mud, stuck ups. I'm not a fucked up fuddy-duddy. You know, I don't have these unseen demands, and I'm not walking around here saying to folks like, oh, I am this, I am, and my mind can do this, and my body can do this, and you would want to fuck with me because I am blah, 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 blah. I didn't do that. You did that. In my name. Therefore, you knew you was bringing heat to me. But you also let people know how powerful I am. And then you also let people know who I am. And you also let people know that you are not who I am. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. You know, because I was trying to keep a low profile, because when I was in middle school or high school, even when I was a kid, like, I was hell on wheels. And I was hell on wheels because motherfuckers was lying. They never stopped lying. Motherfuckers was doing shit, instigating shit, plotting, scheming then. And I was like on something. I was on something like, oh, hell no. You ain't fucking my name up in your shit. Or you ain't gonna put my name in that. And I shouldn't get in trouble for your bullshit. And I meant that. And even though I still got in trouble because I was whooping motherfuckers' asses every time they were like, blah, it's like, oh, what? And if I had to, like, if I couldn't get to you, I was like, oh, I'm going to get you. You know? Because you shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have did it. And then I noticed, and I'm going to tell people some real shit. You know what I noticed when I was a teenager? That there are good people out there in this world that don't operate on the fuck shit, but they are willing to fuck a motherfucker up. They want to fuck with a good person. I seen that shit firsthand when I was a teenager. And I said, thank God for God. Thank God for good people. And I never judge people. You know? I remember A girl came up to me in high school and she wanted to fight me over some shit I've, I always never have a clue about, because I'm not in this world to be like, yeah, I'm thinking about fighting such and such tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing this to such and such today or tomorrow or later on or in a week. Or I ordered something just so I can fuck with such and such in the next 2 days. I don't think like that. Okay? So, but I'm at school and I was going to one of my classes and she wanted to fuck me up over something. And I remember saying, like, you want to fight today? You want to fight me today? And I remember that day, or the day before that, my brother had took the brakes off of my brand new bike. I had no brakes. I had to stop with my feet. You know, I had sandals on, and I ended up messing my big toe up to where the skin in the front came off, and it was holding on by a thread, like it was flapped over, and it was bleeding. It was bleeding. And I ran in the house and I'm crying and stuff. And as soon as my mom was like, all right, well, I'm going to take you to the hospital. And I stopped crying. I was like, huh? Nope. Mm-mm. I don't want the hospital. Well, I thought we got a Band-Aid or something. She was like, it's like your skin. It's like, it's gone, you know. I was like, it's not gone. Look, it's holding on by, look, this much across from like this nail. It was like holding on to that. And I said, just flip back over. We're going to put some Band-Aids on it. Then we're going to wrap some other shit on it. Okay. My mother was like, no, we got to go there. My mother's a nurse. But I started to throw a fit like, I'm not going to no hospital. I'm not going. So she did what I asked, you know. She put the Band-Aid on. Not just one, couple of them. And we already had crutches from something that my brother did. So I used those crutches. And I was like at school, and that girl was like, yeah, she want to fight. And shit ain't even registered what the fuck she wanted to fight about. I was just like, really? Today? You want to fight? Like, I think before yesterday or the day before that, or it was like 2 or 3 fights in one day or whatever. But you want to fight today. And you see how my foot is. Okay? I said it. I had 2 friends. And they were rough. Man, they were rough. They were from the projects too. They were rough. And it's like they stepped in like some saviors. Like, you know how you might see cartoons and shit, like motherfuckers on the they glide across the floor and they right in front of your face. They were like, Kiki, we'll fight her for you. I was like, for real? You gonna fight her for me? And they were like, hell yeah, we'll fuck her up. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, because you know my foot, like that. And the girl was like, oh shit. I was like, nah, don't oh shit now. Nope. But they helped me get into the classroom. And I sat down. And you know the crazy part? That class, it's shit. That shit's crazy. The class had all glass. All glass. You can see outside and you can see inside. The whole fucking class. I got to watch the fight. I was like, this shit is so awesome. These 2 girls are awesome as fuck. I love them, you know? And I'll never forget that day. Never, ever forget that day. Because they chose to come into my life when different bitches was plotting on me in high school to fight me. And I was fighting all the time. 2-3 times a day. And they was like, yo, you fucking motherfuckers up out here. I ain't even thinking about that I'm fucking them up. I'm just on some shit like, yo, I ain't even starting no shit with you. Why the fuck is you coming in my face? Like, oh, it's over a nigga. I'm so tired of this shit. Who the fuck is the nigga? Like, I don't even give a fuck about this motherfucker. You know, it was times where I'm like, oh, you want to fight me over a nigga? All right, who the nigga? Who is it? You know, I call the nigga over. All they had to do ain't go to the school. We had a payphone. They would have him in the school back then. I remember I called a dude on the phone. I was like, hey, yo, this Kiki. And he was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, baby, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nah. Got some other shit to talk about. Like, hey, this girl over here, she at the school. She saying that, you know, y'all this and y'all that. And y'all whatever. I'm like, is it like that? And he like, nah. I said, can you please tell her? Because she want to fight me over you. Like, I don't fight over niggas, yo. I don't do that. Everybody know that shit. I'm very vocal about every fucking thing. She was embarrassed and she still wanted to fight me. I don't see the logic in the shit. But her logic was, whatever plan that she set up got ruined by me. And she wanted to make an example out of me. And I was like, for what? I don't even know you like that. Like, for what? Like, what the fuck? You know what her reason was? Because her cousin was fucking with my cousin, and my cousin ain't want to fuck with her no more. My cousin was a dude. My other dude cousin was fucking with her, and he didn't want to fuck with her no more. Somehow or another, my name get thrown into this shit because I'm cool with these niggas, and they looking at it like, oh, they cool with her, so they must be fucking her. And I would tell these women, bitch, the fuck I look like fucking my cousin. That's my goddamn cousin. We all look alike. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all bitches? But when I said that, they took that as fighting words, and they had it out for me. You know, they sat on it for like a few hours or something in class or some dumbass shit. And I'm like thinking to myself, you know who your beef is really with? My damn boy-ass cousins that then dicked your ass down and then don't want your ass no more. And somehow you think doing something to me, you're going to get some attention from them. You're going to get the attention, all right? They still not going to fuck with your ass. Okay? But that girl, she made that plan. And so even after the dude, we off the phone, she still want to talk shit. And I'm saying to her, because I'm trying to adopt the practices that my father told me. My father's like, Kiki, hey, look, you got to stop with all the violence. You got to stop with all the riffraff. You got to stop with all the shit you're doing. Like, what the fuck is you out here doing to people where they want to fight you all the time? I'm like, none. My daddy never believed that shit. And I'm like, yo, I was just walking. What the fuck? I sat down. I eat my lunch. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I said, but what I do know is this. I ain't got 6 other brothers like you when you was in high school. I'm sure nobody fuck with y'all. I said, I'm the oldest out of all your kids, and I'm a girl. And I'm 4 foot motherfucking 11. And if a motherfucker think they can get away with fucking my ass up one goddamn time, they gonna keep doing that shit. I think not. I ain't say all them curse words, but my daddy got the picture, and my daddy was like, oh, okay. But my father told me, I am supposed to talk to people. This is how another reason I know I'm super vocal. Because I've been vocalizing every goddamn thing since I was a jit. So I talk to this bitch. Like, hey, bitch, I don't want to fight you. I know you tall as fuck. All that good shit. I know this nigga's on your mind. We get out of school soon, go talk to the motherfucker. And I'm like, yo, I don't fight over niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that. You know, and she's trying to get something going. And I'm like, listen, everything ain't all about a fight. Like I just resolved the shit by calling. I diffused the situation. But again, that was not her goal. It's kind of like all of you people. And she's included in y'all little bunch. It's not your goal. Because your goal is to just keep fucking me up. Because you got past grudges from damn middle school and high school. But again, I digress. The reason why I fell in love with these two women that were friends of mine that stepped in on my behalf to fuck another bitch up for me, I got hip to them by after this fight with this bitch. I'm talking about this nigga. And so her shit turned from the dude to me. And you can tell when it's personal. Because it's like they'll put that you in it. She was like on some shit like, yeah, I'm talking to you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But she thought she was going to be able to just zero that shit in and buck up on me because she was taller. And like barrel down in my face like on some shit like that. But it's like when she got the bitch out, I snapped. And I fuck her face up. I good 3. Because I was fast. It was like, what? I rock your face. You know what I'm saying? But because she pissed me off, after I rocked her face, I grabbed her ponytail, and I was about to drag her across the motherfucking floor. I was looking at a mop bucket too, because I was going to put her face in that shit. And we was right by the principal's office. The payphone was like right across from the principal's office. That shit was in glass too, And the principal came out, got my ass, took my ass up off of her type shit. Never forget that man. Mr. Tally. Mr. Tally was like, yo, what's wrong, man? What's going on? They was like, you too pretty for this. You too... I said, tell it to them. Tell it to them motherfuckers. Tell it to them. Because I ain't doing it. And I'm speaking it nicely when I'm saying it on this fucking camera. But some real shit. For real. And because of what that girl did, right? And what she was planning to set up for me after that fight, I kid you not, the same two other women I'm talking about, they knew them plans. You know what I mean? And we was on the bus. Damn, yo. On the bus. And that girl was starting that shit again. Even with her black eyes and shit. She's still starting that shit again. And I'm like, alright, man, okay. Damn. It's like, I just want to break, you know what I'm saying? I just want to live, you know what I mean? But whatever, Those girls knew what the fuck them other two girls and some more was planning. And all along was planning on doing was jumping the fuck out of me. And I ain't talking about no regular jump like on a bus or when you get off the bus and everybody around and just it's about 3-4 girls that want to jump your ass. No. I'm talking about jump my ass on the bus, jump my ass off the fucking bus, and then keep jumping my ass going down the street. And when I heard that shit, I was like, oh, shit. Hell no. Here go the two girls. We'll take care for you. I said, damn. Y'all don't like these bitches, do you? They were like, nope. I said, damn. But they were the ones that didn't like me on their plan. So I had ditched the the crutches was on the other shit. But I got off the bus if they stopped to fight. I fought regular. I fight with my hands. I don't pick up nothing. I don't do that. So I fought. Then they fought 2 other girls, and I fought her. And I had this thing with me when it's like, all right, if it's done, it's done. It's over, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to keep wailing on you because I be like, damn, I got to see you tomorrow. Oh, you coming to school. I had compassion. That's all I can say. Because it be shit I don't be wanting to do in the first fucking place. But then you know how you got time limits and you got to get home by a certain time. And then you don't get off at your stop. So you know you got to make it home before your parents figure it out and shit. So you don't get in trouble with that. It was all that mixed into all that. The other 2 girls still was handling them girls. Let me tell you why. They saw them pick up a fucking, so it's like a piece of wood. And another one had picked up a brick. And they was coming like behind me for it. When I was like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. Like this shit. No, I'm not continuing this fucked up shit. Because I could see this shit would go on all day like that. But they was trying to approach me from behind. And so when they did that, them 2 girls picked up something and got the whacking. Just whacking their ass. And I hear it. And I turn around. I'm like, oh shit. That beating won't normal. But you know what that shit was really from? Stemmed from the same shit. My cousins will be fucking with these bitches. They can't fight them niggas. And all my cousins was fine as fuck. But my cousins ain't want to deal with these women no more. And these women felt some kind of way. And at one point, we was friends. But because my cousins didn't want to fuck with them no more, and then I didn't want to deal with them whining, complaining, wanting to keep calling me about them, or wanting to argue with me because I couldn't get them on the phone, or I couldn't get them the reason and want to be with them and all. And I'm like, damn, bitch, shit, I ain't fucking them. Or I can't convince a nigga to want to fuck with you and they don't want to fuck with you no more. Or I can't help it if you fucked all my cousins. What the fuck? I can't help it that you allowed them to run a train on your black ass. Like, excuse me? Like, what am I supposed to do? I can't undo what you did. You know? So I'm like, damn. Like, calm your ass. I don't know. But stop it. But my response wasn't the response that they wanted. And they were just taking it out on me. And I seen that. I saw how one would get mad because I dressed better. I looked better. My voice was better. You know, I was poised. My demeanor was better. You know what I'm saying? I saw bitches looking weird, crazy, giving me side eyes, evil eyes and everything because I was smart. And I still know how to pass all my shit even though I skipped school every goddamn day. I still made good ass damn grades. So it was like, if there wasn't any winning, not for me. And I had to come to the realization that people that are jealous, envious, and they have hatred, and they're angry, and they're bitter, and they hold grudges or any of the negative shit, they don't grow and they don't understand. And it's like fighting a crackhead. And you don't smoke crack, so you ain't even on the speedy level that they on. It's like it's gonna be an ongoing battle all the time. No matter if it's a man or a woman. And that's what this has turned into. It's like all the bitter bitches, all the bitter niggas, they are together. And then all the bitter people from my past lives, they got together. And they, I assume, probably produced bitter children too. And they had bitter lives and bitter existence. And even though they came across me and they came across different things that I created and invented and all that, and they sabotaged it all. It's like the bitterness in them didn't even want it to thrive and them like make money off of it. And I think the only reason why the shit that they doing was making them some money was because they needed it at the time. And then half the time they were using the fact of she's sick and she needs some money. I only called on my parents when I was sick for money. I never called on other people for money. So that's where you fucked up at. And I never asked other people for shit except for my parents. Get it? Yeah, me and my brother had an arrangement here and there. When he worked, I helped him. When I worked, when he worked, he helped me. When I worked, I helped him. You know. But I had to come to the realization too. He still was friends with a lot of y'all bitter motherfuckers. And I said, it's a 99.9 probability that he sided with y'all bitter motherfuckers. Because he didn't get what he wanted at some point from me. And then when all the shit amped up at my home, I said, man. I said, all these folks had to do. And this is just me speaking. But I feel like all you had to do was say, hey, we didn't get along then in high school or middle school or in college or at work. But you have something special about you that I gravitate towards. And I don't understand it. Or better yet, if I do understand it, I know I'll get further in life by letting you know my findings versus hiding my findings from you. You know, and we can grow, we can talk, and we can educate each other, and we can move past high school or whatever your blockages are. We can move past it. And it's like no one thought like that. They just all thought like, we're going to steal, we're going to kill, we're going to take, we're going to deceive, we're going to manipulate, we're going to do everything to hurt every part of her. When you were actually doing that in your actual lives as well too. And it's like, just think of the trickle-down effect of how many people you've had to put through your chaos just for you to bring chaos to me at the level that you brought it. And then you folks actually think that you're not going to have to pay for that. It's like everyone thinks that they should be excluded and having to pay for their crimes or their treatment or their accusations or their slander, their defamation. Who else is going to pay? Like, who else? Because if you can't hook, line, and sink me with your bullshit and get me on the line for that shit, it goes back to the people that sent it. Because see, it's just asinine and backwards as fuck, right? For me as the real person to defame myself. to humiliate myself. Like I would have to willingly do shit to fuck myself up. Who does shit to willingly fuck themselves up? Who? Who does it? Who does it? And then when I've been taken through the worst, because you don't want to admit that you caused my accidents, that you caused my hospitalizations, that you even caused the deformities of my body. Like, you don't want to admit to shit like that. But you know you've played a major part to it all. And you know you got to pay for it. And the way you guys think, you don't believe in God and you don't believe in hell, like, because you don't believe you're going to go there. You just like, if I don't think about it to where, like, I did it or it's going to condemn me, then it won't happen to me. That's not true. Karma happens to everyone, no matter what. Unless you're not doing karmic shit. That's the difference. I, on the other hand, was never doing karmic shit. Guess what I was doing? Minding my own damn business or defending myself. That means I was in my own lane, in my own bag, in my own shit. And everybody came to fuck with my shit. And then they thought after you fucked all my shit up that it was gonna show me like I was this fucked up person and that I was a nothing and a nobody and that I deserved to be crucified, killed, and put 12 feet under. You know? That was the plan. You had the same plan last life too. And didn't think about changing that up either. You had this going for a few lifetimes. And still never think about changing. This is the lifetime where God got tired of it. Like, nope. And it wasn't like you killed me in past lives. It was your copycat always gets the axe. Now you've stolen each lifetime, definitely. And I didn't get a lot of my money. I still had to do work myself. But this lifetime is where I get everything that's mine. Because I not only did the work, but I embodied that behavior. And I stayed my course. And I didn't stoop to your levels. And when I say a soul and a spirit never die, I want you to understand this. That means also that the behavior of the soul and spirit never die. So if you are in chaotic behavior, violent behavior, manipulative behavior, I can keep going. That means you had that behavior last lifetime. And you were supposed to tackle that behavior within so you wouldn't keep that behavior going. Because as you keep that behavior going, yes, it trickles down to your children, your bloodline, and yourself. I am just the mirror saying back to you, you are doing this to you. Just like you have done this to yourself last lifetime. And if everyone understood, when you go to bed, you are dead. That is what sleep is. It is a death. Parts of your consciousness is separated from another while you sleep. When you rise, that is your life. That means you have the opportunity. God is giving you the opportunity to change your behavior. You have not done that because you don't see anything wrong with your behavior. You don't see anything wrong with how you treat people. You don't see anything wrong with the things you say out your mouth. You don't see anything wrong with how you've stolen, how you've decided to take charge of what you feel like is your life, even though you're stepping into someone else's life. You're wreaking havoc on someone else's life. You know? And I will say this, if I did not have a supportive backing, and when you stole the money out of my bank account and you shut my bank account down and you wanted to say that I committed fraud against myself, yes, if I did not have a supportive support group of family, I would have lost my house. Okay? I would have been homeless. I would have been out on the street. However, I'm just going a little further. No, but my door is locked and I'll open it in a minute because I'm doing something. But I'm saying this to prove a point on intelligence or just a change of mind and thinking. All right? I would have chosen to fight the fraud because why would I steal from myself? I would have chosen to go out and get another job because I wouldn't want to lose my home. Okay? I would have chosen, instead of running to a man or running to the streets, all right, I would go to my parents. You get it? If I did not have parents or grandparents or reliable family that I could go to, I would have went to a shelter. Either way, there are so many other steps before you're just on the street. There are so many other steps before you're out there selling your ass and titties. There's so many other steps before you become a whore. And all you people are saying is that you willingly became a whore. You willingly became the behavior that you put out for me. Instead of understanding, when you see me, if I don't have that behavior, I am not that. Everything that has a word attached to it has a behavior. It has been mapped to a science. Okay? So, when your teeth are missing, and you say, no, I ain't on no drugs. I don't be doing that. People know it's a lie. When you got somebody's name heavy in your mouth, and then you say, no, I'm not talking about them. I like them. I'm not trying to do this or that. You know, they know you're a lie because it's like, how the fuck do they just always appear in your mouth all the time? Okay? when you are strategically putting out nonsense and you're the face of nonsense, you can't sit here and say that you were not committing nonsense. Why would I have to do anything? Why would I have to go anywhere? Why would I have to prove myself? Why would I have to, I guess, I don't know, run behind you or come back or decide to side with you? And I see, never changed. None of you changed. You're all still the same. What's the point? And then the parts of you that I didn't see before, and when I saw it, you didn't come around in a better form. Everyone stayed away and chose to commit those acts with other people, not around me. You used my name. You put my name in things, and you were out using my name and saying my name and stuff. But I was never around any of you people. Never. And because everything was all lies, none of your spell work it didn't stick because it was all lies. Things stick when it's the actual truth. You know, things stick when I commit the act to be something, or I've done whatever it is to get me sick. That's the difference. And I don't think anyone should be dibbling dabbling in spirituality when you have a morbid viewpoint and it's only rooted in death. It automatically lets me know your problem isn't me. Your problem isn't God. Your problem has always been a problem for you because of the longevity of your soul and your spirit that has kept that. If you've died 5 times or 5 lifetimes, and if you've lived till 100 years old 5 lifetimes, you have 500 years of the same bullshit. It's just compounded. That's why it comes out like roaring forces in the energy, in the universe. That's why the acts that you do are committed on people in a fast way. And if you have been here 5 lifetimes, but you're going out to a 3 lifetime soul, your energy overpowers them. Of course, you could do whatever. That's why God put me where I was. My oldest living soul self had to absorb lifetimes of negativity, of a death nature from morbid motherfuckers who've had morbid souls since their first one. It's kind of like if it was introduced to you, you enjoyed it, you liked it, you didn't see anything wrong with it, and you kept it up. Now, if it was introduced to you and you didn't like it and you felt something was wrong with it, you let it go, you got some hope with yourself. You know, if you decide to remove yourself, you got some hope in yourself. If you decide you want to change, you got some change within yourself. It's like when you make the conscious decision to not want to commit the same thing that you know is bad to yourself and to others, you're making a conscious decision to change. You just have to be consistent and keep up with it. And you have to not go around people that are thinking in that manner. Thinking is energy. And because you want to keep doing that, it shows what you really are. That's the separation and the distinction in energy itself. So it's like all the years of everything that everybody compiled and put on me, and you having information about me, knowing that I was a 21 lifetime thing. And I keep getting up, walking around. You should have known, like, damn, she is absorbing this shit. But you were hoping I was absorbing it all in a negative way, and I didn't know how to get it out, expel it. And I've always known how to do that because I've been creating since I was little. You can't get by here without creating. You just can't. When you don't know how to create, you are codependent. When you don't know how to use your mind independent of other people, you are codependent. When you make a conscious decision to not want to grow and to stay stuck and to not exercise your noggin in a positive way, you are codependent. You know what codependency says to the world? Yes, I do need help and I want help, and I'm going to stay under help. And I'm going to use every excuse that I have, and I'm going to say everything I need to say, and I'm going to be all of those things because I don't want to work. I don't even want to help myself. Even though I can walk around, I can talk as much shit as I want to people. I have 2 arms, I have 2 legs, and all my functions are fine except my mental. But am I playing a mental game with others, or am I really mentally fucked up? And guess what? You're not, but so mentally fucked up when you can walk around, drive around, and make content and get phones and steal money from people and create these narratives against other people. Nothing's wrong with you. You're saying what your job is to attack people to death. That's what your job is. Guess what? God's job is to go after the people that attack people to death. It's that simple. I'm a lifer. And you know what lifers do? Surpass death. They learn death. They live death every day. They understand it. The people that cause death don't understand it. They can say all day that they want to, but they're not taking the time out to understand it. All they care about is the outcome, which is the death itself. People that live, they go through the process to understand death, the meaning behind it, why we're giving it, what's the lesson? Should I be appreciative? Am I going to want to curse God behind it? Or am I going to want to praise God behind it? You're making your choices. And they are seen. That's what I want people to really understand. They're seen. And so even if you had expected me to be a ball of rage and you're wondering why I'm not, it's because it's like this. If I got hundreds of people after me for money, and you're willing to kill me for the money, God said this: hey, I'm not going to give you your money now, and I'm not going to let them kill you. I mean, it's clear that it's 100 against 1. That ain't no regular jumping, no regular beating. That's just definitely marked with death. You get it? So God's like, man, in the ethers, we see thousands upon thousands attacking one person. And then God's like, damn, that's my kid that they're attacking. And that's not only my kid, that's my first child. And then that's not only my first child, but they are attacking her for what I gave her. And God is saying to y'all, I gave it to her because guess what she does? She'll keep it safe. She'll keep it protected. And she's not going to let anyone else touch it. I trust her. I don't trust none of you fuckers. And it's clear that God doesn't trust you, know you, or anything like that. Because if he did, you would get a thought in your brain and it would say to you, stop attacking her. Everyone gets their own individual gifts from God, and you get those gifts by earning the rewards. And you didn't earn the rewards, so you don't get the gift. Any of her gifts, you can't take them or nothing. So if you took them illegally, spiritually, they're going to be returned spiritually, legally. So you wasted your time, wasted your life. You might have got some good roads out of it with the money, living high off the hog, but essentially your insides are hollow. Now you mad that my insides intact, and I'm like, how? When I am not doing none of the shit you're doing. I'm just not. And people that know me know that I'm not. They know I'm at home. They know I'm chilling. They know. They like, what the fuck? This bitch ain't what I want. And I go outside the house. I go places and shit. But I mean, no. I ain't going to other people's house to be like, hey, girl, how you doing? Oh, what's been going on with you? Oh, no, this going on with my life. No, I don't tell people none of my business. I don't do that. And even when I do tell people, it's like, oh, they go back like this. She told me this today. Guess what? I heard this. And I hear it too. And that's called, I planted a seed. And now I know who's my mole, like that. So it's one of those things where you learn to just be like, all right, I'm going to let these people go through these motions with themselves because they clearly think that they're going to succeed. All right. I'm going to let you think it too. Because, hey, some people do not learn until shit happened to them. That's why God has not removed anyone's karma. Do you get it? That is why God has karma out there on permanent rotation. It has been established millions of years. It's the computer of computers of the universe. It's the real true cause and effect of energy that no being can override that. No energy can override that. It's like a fail safe that God put in the universe that even God can't override. Not the gods and not the one God. Like, we can't do anything about that. You know, because it's so many things that happen in seconds around the world. It's impossible to stop like one person's karma, because shit happens in seconds, milliseconds, and shit like that. And when you got other shit you're doing, it still takes some time to do. It don't matter if you know God timing or Earth timing or Jupiter timing or Neptune's timing. It's like it still takes time to do. It takes more than a second. And so they set it and forget it. And then certain things are so ancient back in time, they tell people don't fuck with that. It's written in so many different languages. Like, don't fuck with it. And guess what y'all do? We gonna fuck with it anyway. So it's like, all right, you already know your fate. And you want me to change it. And you know I can't change it. And then you know the only way that could have been done was to get rid of me. But it's like, you need to understand, you're not tethered to the universe like I am. So your plans would never work. You're not tethered to the planet like I am. So your plans still would never work. So you essentially barked up the wrong tree. And you used your own money to do it. But even if you use my money to do it, it's kind of like, hey, you gonna get fucked up for it. It's like, wow. And there's nothing I can do about it because it was all your choices. That's the difference. My choices were never used here. My influence was never used. My influence at every stage of this process was removed, taken away, deleted. And that's why God will give me everything. Because I wasn't the one that influenced your decisions in a negative or a positive way, meaning out my mouth, my vessel standing there, and I say, do this. That wasn't me. Now, you people that pretended to be me, pretended to embody, and you embodied my energy, and you pretended to walk as me. It's all you. Yeah, I'm about to unlock the door. But anyway, I'm gonna go because I got other shit to do. But I had to address all that stuff, and I didn't want to be interrupted as I did it. Okay? All right, people. I will talk to you later. And have you seen my niece with her jazz hands? Bye-bye.